So hello and good morning everyone, and welcome to this entrepreneurship open elective course. This is session number 1 and myself, assistant professor in electronics department. Let us begin with a startup journey. So typically in this particular course, it's very difficult to concise and complete the entire startup processes, various processes involved. So, but few of them we will be definitely overview everything mostly. So it will be like pitching an idea, that is identify the problem to be solved. Then we will understand how to get effective customer feedback, that is most important, using your lean launchpad method. Then we have circular design thinking, using which we will be able to narrow down the problems or the ideas, which we are about to solve. And then we will iterate those ideas using lean startup technique. Then we will create the value product or minimum viable product, MVP. Then we'll also create the business model canvas along with the customer journey maps. One thing I'm not written is we'll also cover the financial and the legal issues while starting a startup. That means finance for startups. And at the end of this course, you should be start selling your ideas. Yeah, so that's about it about the startup journey. Now, everyone face challenges, yourself, me, everyone, in fact, in this world. So, challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. So, there is a difference between the successful people and those who take more time to, be successful. Those who overcome challenges and face them head on, those people thrive for success very fast in their life. Now, there is something about SMART goals. So, what is this SMART goals or SMART objective? So, over here we have acronym. So, SMART will be a acronym for S stands for specific. So, what do you do? What do you want to do? We have to be very, very specific about it, right? You cannot have a very general view. You will be solving a local problem, or which will might become a global problem. You are providing a solution for a global problem, but at the start you have to be very, very specific. Then measurable. Your goals should be, how will I know that when it's fulfilled? You have to be very, very, your goals have to be measurable. That let's say that you have picked up an idea, and you should know that when it's going to be fulfilled. You should have that final vision in your mind. And then achievable, right? So how can I achieve this goal? You should have that plan within your head whenever you have an idea or you're trying to solve, identifying a problem or trying to solve something, right? So you should be very clear about how will I achieve this goal. And then obviously it should be realistic. So can you realistically achieve it? You should ask this question yourself. Do you have the department, have the resources, or whether you have that passion to, for that idea to be realistic, your goals to be realistic, and then timely. When exactly do you want to accomplish it? Let's say you have an idea today. So when do you want to accomplish it? We have to have a clear plan, have a timeline. Ki 6 months from today, I will be launching my business. So you should have a timeline with you. So example of a smart objective or a smart goal is something as follows. So this is an example of a smart objective. Let's say you have a web page and you have your business running up in the web page. So you want to increase your web page traffic. So what do you mean by this smart objective? We will be seeing that. So how to be very specific. So that means we have to increase the traffic of our website by increasing the frequency of weekly publications from 5 to 10 maybe. So that means you are, increasing your, let's say you are writing a blog. So you increase the blog, double increase from 5 times to 10 times a week, right? So it will increase the content writer's workload from 5 posts to 10 posts per week. So you be very, very specific how many posts you want to increase. Then it should be measurable. At least 9% increase in the traffic. Okay, so that should be very, very measurable goal. Achievable. Our website traffic increased 4% last month when we increased our weekly publication frequency to 5 times per week. So that means you have achieved an outcome by increasing some parameter of your web page. So here in this case, you are increasing your publication frequency to 5 times per week. Then it should be relevant. Your goal should be relevant. So that means by increasing the traffic of your website, you will increase your brand awareness. You will generate more potential customers, and you indirectly will generate opportunity. So whatever you are planning, it should be relevant. And then you should also have a timeline that when you will want to achieve this thing by the end of this month. So let's say 1 month's time. So what will be a smart objective in constructively framed inside a statement? At the end of this month, our website will see a 9% increase in traffic by increasing a weekly publication frequency from 5 publications per week to 10 publications per week. So this will cover entirety of your smart objective. So that's an example. There are many examples which we can discuss, but this is one example which we can relate nowadays. Next will be, sorry. Yeah, just wait a second. Yeah. So why be an entrepreneur? Okay. So entrepreneur have its own benefits. Is this slide visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So next, it's a very important question which needs to be discussed. That why be an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, you be your own boss. You work for yourself, right? But at the downside, you have no guidance to start with. Let's say you are in third year engineering, and you have an idea. You want to become an entrepreneur. Okay, what happened? Let me go back to the slide. Just wait a second. I think there was some problem with the presentation. So let me restart that again. Give me a minute. Yeah, sorry for the delay. PowerPoint just closed down on me. Give it a couple of few more seconds and we will begin. So we were discussing about the question, why be an entrepreneur? We'll continue right after the slide presentation begins. Yeah, it will start in a moment. By the way, in the meantime, you could answer yourself questions. Why be an entrepreneur? What's your take on it? Anyone wants to clarify? I mean, share that view. Why you want to become an entrepreneur? Till the time the slides it's loading. So anyone from your share your view on it? Why you want to become an entrepreneur? Um, okay, the anyone from the audience wants to share their views on it? So, I mean, let's fast forward and move forward to the next point that until the times the presentation loads up, we'll move ahead in the forward direction. So, there is something about something called as entrepreneurial mindset. I think this is also loading. Can you see the PDF now?
Yes, sir.
Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, entrepreneurial mindset, it's a way of thinking. So, there are 10 signs that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. So, let us start with it. Yeah. So, the very first thing is you are a creative thinker. So, around 75% of the aspiring entrepreneurs think innovatively. You find yourself constantly looking for creative ways to solve problems, not with a one approach but a multi-dimensional approach. So the very first quality, if you are a creative thinker, then you have a entrepreneurial mindset. Then secondly, you get things done. It doesn't matter how you get things done, but you get things done, maybe not in a structured manner or not in a conventional manner or in a traditional manner by following one approach after the other, but you have a way of doing things done. So you tend to spring into when you come across an innovative idea. So entrepreneurs are set apart from the crowd because they are the doers. When you say something, when an entrepreneur says something, we have to, you are the very first person to do it yourself. And as an entrepreneur, you play many different roles. Let's say you are starting with your idea in your company. So instead of being a CEO, you also play finance management. You can play creative, content. So you are, many personalities into one. So that what the meaning of the statement. You get things done. Then the third point is you don't take no for an answer. You have resilience to overcome obstacles that stand by in the way of your success. You possess persuasion skills and do not accept rejections easily. And you don't give up so easily. You always think of a, some solution which will lead you towards the way of success and way ahead for your startup or your venture. And you overcome all those obstacles. If you have decided you have to do this, you just don't take no for an answer. Next is you take failures in stride. That means you believe that taking risk and falling is a part of a process. You'll be ready for any outcome, right? So failure is something which an entrepreneur embraces as a lesson to learn from. That means you learn from your failures. And they say in your startup world, you fail fast so that you get up on your feet and move ahead with that experience. And then the fifth one will be you reject the employee mindset. That you reject the notion of working as an employee for paychecks. That rather than that, you want to be your own boss. You have a strong desire to be your own boss. So that is what it mean by you reject the employee mindset. Then an entrepreneur is the one. He or she is a self-starter. Being your own boss require discipline and accountability. Let's say you have a 9 to 5 job, right? You have an accountability to get up early in the morning, then reach the office on time. But as an entrepreneur, you have no such liability, right? You don't have to get up morning at 9, but still, being your own boss will require discipline and accountability. You might have your own team, so you want to lead by an example. So you are willing to take initiatives and implement actions on your own. without any taking any suggestions. Whereas if you're just being just join a company and a job, you have to obey and listen to all the rules and regulations set by that company. Whereas being an entrepreneur, you are a self-starter, you make the own rules, which will benefit to the for your venture. Then entrepreneur has is they are extremely passionate. I know you have the drive to work hard, make ideas in on success. Normally, it initially for the idea to venture out or take some strides, you might have to work a lot during the daytime. You have to manage your engineering life, your studies, your exams, and then also your startup idea and reaching out to customers. So at the end of the day, entrepreneurs have the passion for what they do. If you're passionate about your venture idea or your startup, you will do no matter how hard the hardships are, and you will all make all the sacrifices to achieve the success. And then entrepreneurs possess people skill. If you possess people skill, if you like to be communicative, and you are prepared to constantly network, form partnerships, and attract potential customers, then yes, you have an entrepreneurial mindset. Then you don't like a little competition, right? That's what drives you, right? There is no idea that if even if you start out with something very creative and very unique, later on you will find that you will face some little competition. Okay, a little bit of a rivalry drives you to be better, right? You have some competition, so you have some we can say standard to achieve from with respect to your competitor. So that is another motivator to drive for the success. So ultimately you will try to do the best what you want to do, and at the last you work very hard. If you work very hard, then yes, you have the entrepreneurial mindset. You're willing to work around the clock to achieve your dreams. You will take an extra leap, extra efforts. Okay, for that you will be prepared for it. You will manage your time, you will manage your routine, daily routine, in such a way that you will manage your work life balance also. And also you will work on your startup venture. Fine. So these are the 10 characteristics or 10 signs that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, it's a way of thinking. Let's get into that. Hopefully it will work this time. Yeah. So let's jump back to the slide which we were on. Yeah. So why be an entrepreneur? Actually, we have already covered these points. You have the freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility, because you will be managing your own team, and you have your clients who you have to look out to, and you create something. That that feeling, that zeal of creating something new, which is your own idea. But at the same time, you have the risk of a high failure. That you thought of something, you're invested in that, maybe let's say 50,000 you have invested in your idea, but later on you find out that no one needs that idea. I mean, no one has a need. There is a no market need for it. So it also have a potentially high failure rate also initially. And it's fun to be start something new, but at the same time you have a lot of worries, that you worry about the location, you worry about the money, you worry about the team. So with responsibility comes with lot of freedom. You get the freedom, but yes, it's a lot of fun to start something new also. And then we have already discussed this entrepreneurial mindset cases. There were 10 signs that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. Now we'll move on to the next part. Why this entrepreneurship course? So what are the objectives of this course? The objective is to have entrepreneurial ideas, to mature y'all to a point of launching your idea using the lean launchpad business model. And then you also will be studying about business model canvas and the customer discovery process. The most important thing in starting out a venture is knowing your customers beforehand, for whom you are building up a solution, which problem, whose problem you are trying to solve. So knowing that is extremely important. And then identifying business opportunities, and also at the same time to learn how to build a successful business. learn how to raise funds during the life cycle of a new venture. So right now, I want to ask you all, what are your expectations from this course? So you can either unmute yourself and you can speak, or you can type in the meeting chat. So I'll wait for some of your answers and then we will proceed. I want to know there were so many open electives, right? Why entrepreneurship? And what are your expectations from this course? Come on, write down in the chat, or you can unmute and speak. I'll wait for a minute. You must have seen the syllabus contents of this course. So, what are your expectations from this course? What do you expect to learn from this course? So that why I'm asking this is so that I can include those points while I cover the topics. I have a lot of plans, but for it to succeed, it should also include your feedback. Okay. So to get an idea about how a startup creation works and its challenges, yes, we are definitely going to cover that. Yes. Anyone else? So right now you have the platform to, to prepare the definitely. Yes, we will be doing that. We will be, the course contents are such that we will be preparing yourself for this journey, its challenges. Come on, keep it coming. What are your expectations from this course? This is the platform for you to be interactive. This is not just a course wherein I will be showing you all something and you all will be listening and then, yeah, understand various aspects of entrepreneurship. Learn about monetize my idea. Yes, very well. We will be discussing that. Correct. To be able to convert our idea into a startup. Correct. To execute my idea successfully by finding a better solution to a problem. Yes, fine. Correct. We will be discussing all of these in this course, definitely. Okay, so you can continue to write this expectations from the course wala thing. In the meanwhile, I will be briefly discussing about yeah, to learn more about the startup journey and its intricacies. Yes, definitely. Very true. So I will be discussing about your IA component and ISC syllabus main thing and about startup related. So this course content, let me just share the form of videos. So we have already started with the first module, introduction and entrepreneurial mindset. Then we'll be seeing various process of creating a startup. Okay, ideation, design thinking, customer feedback, then case studies, lean startup, which is very important. Then we'll be creating the minimum viable product on prototype, business model canvas, entrepreneurial marketing. Knowing marketing is also very very important. Then how to sell an idea and negotiation exercises. Create your own website. So at the end of this course, we'll be creating our own website to start selling the idea. Then how to register a business or how to launch your business. We'll be covering these points. And then also, most of your ventures or your startups require sources of capital. So what are the various government schemes and where do you find the investments? Who are the virtual who are the venture capitalists or the lenders? What investment crowdsourcing? So all those things we will be discussing. What are the legal challenges in a venture? You have an idea, you have your firm. So how to register your startup company or your venture, and what are the various legal challenges? We'll be discussing over that. And at the last also we'll be connecting with entrepreneurs. There will be 1 or 2 sessions wherein we will be connecting with entrepreneurs, I mean, who are already existing seasonal entrepreneurs. We'll have invite some expert talk. And also very important, we have our own entrepreneurship cell in our college, which is Bloombox KJSE college, Somaya College of Engineering. So we will be orienting about the various campus companies and entrepreneurship related activities of our entrepreneurship cell. So this is briefly about the syllabus contents. Now let's come to your IA component and ISC syllabus. So we this open elective doesn't have an end semester exam, but it has an in semester exam, correct? And these are the modules right at the first lecture, I mean first session I'll be discussing this. So the contents of this ISC syllabus will be module number 1, module number 2, module number 3, and module number 4, unit number 5, unit number 2. Okay, so this will be your ISC syllabus. Then next comes the IA component. Now this is very, very crucial. So listen very, very carefully. See, let me tell you, I mean, let me describe the activities. This is your internal assessment. So this is all about your marks. So you all will be evaluated based on various activities and tasks. So you will have quiz number 1, quiz number 2, and then there is something called as milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3, and milestone 4, which is actually basically driving this driving this course actually of open elective. So we have 90 plus students who have registered for this open. So we'll have two quiz number 1 or quiz number 2. So quiz 1 will be multiple choice questions in LMS. Quiz number 2 also will be multiple choice question, but also you will have a short answers in LMS. Then most important things are your milestone 1, 2, 3, 4. So two tasks. Next task is either you give quiz number 2 or you give milestone 3 and 4. Now what I have done is, since there are many students, it's very difficult for inform me and inform you to if you want to give a score, or if you're really I will definitely encourage you to give milestone 1 and 2. Okay, I will talk about milestone 1 and 2 very soon, and 3 and 4 very, very soon. So the schedule event will be in the 4th week of September. Your quiz 1 or milestone 1 and 2. The deadline will be same for board. And for quiz number 2 and milestone 3 and 4, the deadline will be 4th week of November. Okay, so now let us talk about what are these milestones and what are the activities involved. What's the most crucial slide? Let me give it to the full screen. This is the entire heart and soul of this course. What I'm saying is you will not learn much by just by listening to me. You will learn by doing some activities or doing some task on yourself. Correct? So this is entire thing which I have planned internal assessment activities. We have week 1 to week 9. So milestone 1 will be based on the work done in week 1 and 2, and the success element will be the motivation. So after we discuss the entrepreneurial lifestyle, you will be you will be inspired to be the right expectation from the course, and you will be a motivated learner. Okay, you'll get inspired about entrepreneurship, why you should take up on this journey and start discovering your own entrepreneurial style. So at the end of week 1, these will be the objective. Then in the week 0, this will be the objective. You will be discover your own entrepreneurial style. And then in week 1, the broad topic will be opportunity and the problem identification. So you will identify a problem word solving, convert that problem into an opportunity, apply design thinking to understand the problem better and brainstorm competitors. So we will be discussing about and so at the end of for week number 2, you will be searching for the market opportunity. Okay, the broad topics will be to understand and scope of the market. You have discovered your problem, your idea. You have identified a customer segment for your own business opportunity, who you will be offering that service or that product. So the week 2 is also very, very important. Then you will have your milestone 1 based on the work done in week 1 and week 2. So this is what I meant by week 1 and week 2. Fine. And then at the end of this week 2, you must have identified the target market and your target customer segment, whether the customer segment in the sense whether you're selling it with the age group of between let's say 18 to 20, or middle age group, or you're selling it to the age group of beyond 40 years. Okay, so that is very, very, very important. Then week 3 will be viable product or your prototype. So you will be building and iterating a solution or your product that solves customers problem and make customers lives better. Okay, and you will also indirectly increase the likelihood to buy to buy the product or your service. So you'll be developing a prototype. So here we'll be discussing value proposition and a minimum viable prototype concept. Then for an entrepreneur, the finance and the various financial metrics are very, very important. Correct? Because you will be starting out a venture, so definitely you have to manage your finance. So to estimate the real cost and likely revenue and calculate the price of 1 unit per product, I mean whatever, or the product or the service. So there will be various financial templates which you will be learning: CAC, CLV, ARPU, churn rate, and net profit margin. These are the terms which you will be learning in week number 4. Okay, so at the end of week number 4, you will be familiarizing yourself with various finance metrics. Then for week number 5, we will be discussing about competitive advantage, how you will be creating your venture which is sustainable. Okay, so here we have to analyze your competitors and see what makes your venture stand out, what features you are providing, your venture is providing. So that means you will be having a sustainable differentiator that will compel the customers to switch from the competitor to you. You, let's say you have your 5 competitors in the market and you're launching your service. So why customers will leave those 5 competitors and choose your venture idea? Okay, your product or your service. So based on the milestone 2 will be based on the work done in 3, 4, and 5, and again the template will be provided to you. Then let's come to the next week number 6, week number 7, and week number 8. So week number 6 we'll be discussing about the business expected how operate your venture idea. So week number 7 we'll be also see for any venture, you cannot always start alone. I mean, you can definitely start, but more than 95% of the starters will require a team. So how to select the best team, for how to hire the co-founders. Okay, so this week will introduce you to the importance of putting the right team, identify the skills in your business, and introduce the basics of a good hiring strategy. Okay, so in week number 7 we will be discussing about the team building and the hiring process. Then week number 8 we'll be discussing about the sales, how the customer engage the market. You should have your sales plan. You should have you should have a plan to to target your customers, to keep more create a target segment. Correct, you have to start building up the customers for your business. you have developed a service or your product, and now you want that product to sell, your service to sell. So you have to reach out to the customers. So how the sales and marketing will be a very very important segment. You develop a workable and realistic sales plan, sales pitch, and sales report, and build your first customers. Okay, because they are the ones who will be paying you for your service or your product. So milestone 3 will comprise of the work done in week 6, week 7, and week 8, and delivery. And say you require some funding, and what are the various legal challenges, right? How to register your company. You should have your funding plan. You have to present, yeah, they say, you pitch your venture, which we call it, in front of the investors, and what are the and what are the various legal compliances, how to register the company, what are the various contracts which you have to make, and all that. So all your legal compliances and the important listing in week number 9. And milestone 4 will be about pitching your venture. Okay, it is as good as pitching your venture in front of an investor. I mean, right from an idea to your business model, for your sales plan, your team, and your investability, everything should be there. So this is about the 4 milestones which I'm talking about. And if you really want to if you really see on your of your venture, these are the steps which you should follow. Okay, so these are the brief your activities for this course. I mean, these are the activities which are the heart and soul of the entrepreneurship course. Obviously, you have the option of giving the quiz, that is compulsory. But for the individuals which are highly driven for starting, and if you already have your startup idea, to tune your startup idea with these. Okay, so this is in general about that. Now let me continue with this. Now I have a video which I think it's which will be very motivating and inspiring. So let me begin with that.
Visit our website startupstories.in for more inspirational stories and updates from startup world.
Heard people say this can't be done. It's your job to remove those myths and to get things done. In many ways, we have and stand by what has or has not happened in our country. To a great extent, this has been a fun of we can't do this or it can't be done. Do not grow with a view that something can't be done and so should not be done. You, in the years ahead, are going to be leaders of this country and shaping the destiny of this country. You look at the world around you, where ideas were born, where individuals started in garages. Where did Microsoft, where did Apple, where did Amazon, where did Google, where did Facebook come from? They came from ideas that people felt something could be done. The technologies that don't require billions of dollars to establish, that don't require hundreds of acres to build, enterprises that are built on innovation that's in your mind, non-traditional, untried, and sometimes risky, but that make a big, big difference in the world of tomorrow. If you speak or sit next to a Nobel laureate, he never tells you that he won a Nobel Prize. Other people tell you. So let humility be your best defense. They came from ideas that people felt something could be done and that they could make a difference. If you think you cannot make a difference, I'd say you very well can make a difference if you so desire. And you shouldn't merely consider yourself successful based on the prosperity you gain for yourself, will you show feeling satisfied if you have made a difference? That difference is something each one of us can make. We'll have failures and we've had frustrations, but it's a continued commitment that we have to the world around us. My enthusiasm for India of tomorrow continues to be there. I continue to feel the need to support enterprising Indian engineers and scientists. And all of us should be very pleased to play this role and need to support this, because all of us should be keen to unleash the Indian tiger. And we haven't done that as yet. So let's all put our hearts and souls behind the fact that this is going to be the new India of tomorrow.
Yeah, I would also like to end this today's session with a quote from Sir Ratan Tata. Ups and downs in lives are very important to keep us going, because a straight line even in an ECG means that we are not alive. So yeah, with that note, I want to end today's session, and I want to acknowledge Professor Salini Gopalakrishnan from IUCE course on entrepreneurship, Professor Nilesh Kumar Pandit, Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Bombay, and Google Images, YouTube, and OneNote. With that, we will conclude today's session, and tomorrow we are going to continue with our journey. So thank you for joining today, and again we will meet up tomorrow. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you.